We got it lined up, man. Number 4 versus number 10. Now, once again, seldom do you see something like this happens. Cory Sandhagen, he says, listen, man, I don't mind fighting down in the rankings because, to be honest with you, I'm not looking at a number. I'm looking at competition, and Song Yadong is as game as they come. I think this is a legitimate challenge. Now, if you're Song Yadong, on the other hand, AJ, you got to think that bodes confidence, right? That builds that up. You say, oh, Cory Sandhagen, yeah, that's right. Team Alpha Male, let's get it. You know what I mean? Like, he should be putting some respect on my name. Nobody else does, but Cory Sandhagen does, so this is going to be a fun fight. Now, before we talk about this, AJ, I don't know if you've seen these recent comings and goings, speculation here. Israel Adesanya-esque speculations of some gyno situations happening in the Team Alpha Male camp. Now, if we talked about steroids, performance-enhancing drugs, what would be the correlating camp that kind of went hand in hand with that? Maybe it's Team Alpha Male. I'm not saying, but I am just kind of saying. But I'm not saying at the same time. AJ, you tell me, Song Yadong, I doubt that there's any fishy business going down here just because I like the man so much, but I don't know this individual. I don't know any of these guys. I think he's a star-studded fighter. Given his results in the octagon, would there be any need for him to be taking these performance-enhancing drugs? He's not a huge guy, but he's not a small guy. I think I mean, are you dismissive? Do you need more evidence? What do you think? There's a picture, and the nip was just sagging down a little bit. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not making any accusations whatsoever, to be clear, but I need your thoughts, AJ. What do you think?
Man, if there's ever a camp that I think that, it would be a little more willing to cross that line or toe that bridge, however you say. I'm not saying it's Team Alpha Male, but I'm also saying it's probably Team Alpha Male. I mean, there's a reason that they're in there. They're scrapping, like on their sparring sessions. They're not the guys who are just going out there pitter pattering. You need some recovery. You need some extra little boost. I think if anyone's out there of Team Alpha Male, that is Song Yadong's not going to be the guy who's peddling off everything. Am I saying he wouldn't benefit from it? Everybody benefits from it. Yeah. So it's hard to do, and you are the company that you keep. So it's interesting to see. I don't know, man. It's would I be shocked? No. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that too, man, because I'm not trying to add any fire to the flame or any fuel to the fire or whatever the metaphorical saying is. The whole entire point is that this was a post going around on Reddit right now, and you do got to think back on the TJ Dillashaw, Cody Garbrandt thing, where Cody Garbrandt called TJ out like way in advance of him actually getting caught. So we'll just leave that at that. Let's talk about the fight here, AJ, man. Cory Sandhagen, yeah, what he lacks in experience because he has less overall fights than Song Yadong, I think he makes up an experience in a weird way. And what I mean by that is you lack fight experience, but you make up for that in fighting elite caliber opponents. Song Yadong, you technically have more experience, but you haven't fought the same high-level competition that Sandhagen has. So I think that they can meet in the middle there. Now, this is the big key here, AJ. Cory Sandhagen is tall, he's long, right? And he's going to be able to more or less kind of style on Song Yadong if this maintains just a striking contest and Song Yadong can't force his way inside the distance and just completely throw Sandhagen off of his rhythm. Now, what we saw against Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw was that what was the mitigating factor that kind of stole the fight for Dillashaw? It was the wrestling. I'm going to ask you just flat out, and I want a plain and clear answer here. Does Song Yadong possess the grappling or the wrestling repertoire to be able to kind of mimic that TJ Dillashaw performance against Cory Sandhagen?
No.
All right. Well, that was very simple. Now, please elaborate, brother. Why do you think that is?
Well, if there's a camp that's going to teach him how to do that, I do think Team Alpha Male is the one to do it. But sometimes, especially when things are going on and you're kind of in that mode, you resort back to kind of what's your lowest level of training, what you're comfortable with. And Song Yadong carries power in those fists, bro. He's got a stone for hands, and if you sleep on him for a second, he's going to be putting you out. He's going to be like Bobby King says, man, you sleep on him, he's going to be waking you up, and there's nothing worse than waking up on the stool, and Song Yadong has his hands up. He's winning. That could be what's going on right now, but does he possess the wrestling power, the wrestling prowess? I don't really think so, and we haven't really – I don't think we consider any fighter that's coming over from Asia or any other country, unless you're grown in America, you've been wrestling since day one, that you're really going to be that power style of wrestler. Now, can you learn that? Yes. Can Song Yadong process that and put it into application in a fight, in a fight where Cory Sandhagen is styling on you, where you're trying to break up his rhythm, but he's not even this normal rhythm fighter. He's an awkward rhythm fighter. It seems like a tall task to me. I don't really see him doing it. What about you?
Yeah, I don't really see it happening here. And to be honest with you, the thing that worries me in this matchup, because clearly we both picked for Sandhagen, Song Yadong's speed is something that gives people fits, man. It gives people fits. And he's faster than Sandhagen. I honestly believe that. The one thing that bodes very well, in my opinion, for the estimation of how this fight plays out is that Cory Sandhagen's footwork is so phenomenal that you can't hit what you can't touch, if that makes sense, right? So what is it? Power beats power. What is it, man? Timing beats power, and what is it?
Uh, Speed beats power. No, no, no. Timing beats power. Precision beats speed. Something like that.
Something like that, man. But that's the whole entire point right here. Is if Sandhagen's footwork is as effective as it's generally been over the course of his career, right? Song Yadong and his whole entire style of I'm going to get in there, I'm going to be bounce back, I'm going to be very agile, I'm going to be very fast twitch. I just don't think you're going to be utilizing what you need to be effective against Cory Sandhagen. Because let's be honest, in the TJ Dillashaw fight, and I hate to keep referring to that fight, right? But that's like literally the biggest fight that he's had. I think arguably bigger than the Petr Yan fight. TJ Dillashaw had more control time, and that's what won him the fight. Cory Sandhagen did more damage. If you do that against Song Yadong, man, I mean, let's be honest, man. This is the stiffest opposition he's fought. If you look at Song Yadong's record, it's not shabby by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not like fantastic. You got Marlon Moraes, the ghost of Marlon Moraes, who knocked out. Who Sandhagen also has a win against him, so you can't really count that as too much either. Knocked out Julio Arce, split decision to Casey Kenny. You got a big decision win against Chito Vera. That's huge right there. A draw against Cody Stamen. Knockout wins against Alejandro Perez. That's huge. But that's what I'm talking about. Cory Sandhagen, man. This dude is just a different caliber right here. So it's round 3. It's round 4, man. These dudes are getting a little bit tired, man. Even though Sandhagen trains at elevation, he's got a fantastic cardio, all that good stuff, man. Who has the edge going into rounds 3, round 4? Like, basically what I'm asking you is, does Song Yadong need to get it done early for him to get it done, or can he win a decision?
Now, can he win a decision? I don't really know. I don't think so. But what does give me a little bit of pause for concern in those late rounds is the ego of Cory Sandhagen, where you start thinking, okay, like my timing's been going. This guy's a little faster than me. I need to beat him up. I need to solidify this win. And then the speed of Song Yadong catches you on one, and next thing you know, you're on shaky legs. And Song Yadong's coming in full power, throwing lefts and rights, and actually getting you where you weren't expecting this to happen. But as that ego fighter, as we've seen Cory Sandhagen do, he's going to come back with some stuff, and that's where the counter striking of Song Yadong gives me a little bit of concern. Now, as the fight goes on and Cory Sandhagen's able to stay composed, stay calm, pick his shots, stay that fast movement, that footwork that you're talking about, if that's the fight that goes on, I'm Cory Sandhagen all day. But like I said, it gives me a little pause for concern if the ego comes out and Song's able to land a big one on it.
Song Yadong can land a big one at any time in this fight, man. He can put Sandhagen out for sure. Easier said than done, clearly, right? The other thing you got to take into consideration is that Cory Sandhagen's jiu-jitsu is very dangerous. I mean, this dude heel hooked TJ Dillashaw and destroyed the man's knee like early in the fight. And now TJ Dillashaw is just that much of a beast. He just fought through it and ended up winning the fight. But listen, man, I think anywhere you go with Cory Sandhagen, you're not in a good spot. You definitely don't want to grapple with the dude. And if you're striking with him, you got to close the distance. And that's just what it comes down to. Watch out for a flying knee. Watch out for something wacky coming from Cory Sandhagen. Overall, though, I like Cory Sandhagen here. I think I'm going to find it pretty hard pressed for him to get a finish over Song Yadong unless it comes in the form of some kind of grappling. But I like Sandhagen. I like him being longer. I like him being able to control where the fight takes place, and I like him being able to just kind of control the striking overall. I think Song Yadong will have some flashes, have some good moments, but I like a decision at plus 110 for Cory Sandhagen. And I honestly think that even the plus 110, even though there's great value on it, the money line is probably the best way to go right here, man, because I think some people could be surprised depending on how this fight plays out. How do you see it, AJ?
Yeah, I agree with you, Derek, because I honestly, even with that plus 900 submission, I wouldn't be surprised to see a submission come out here. So if you're going to be putting some money on this one, I think the money line, that minus 200, it seems crazy, but I think that's the most lucrative outcome because this fight can end in any multitude of ways. And even if you're betting on Song Yadong, man, that plus 325 KO, there's a reason that's the best of all of his odds. So we could see that happening. But if you're going Sandhagen, I'm with you. I think that decision makes the most sense to me. Unless you're putting some money on it, then you're going money line.
Now, listen, I love that, man. And if you're looking at the over under, it's 4.5. And if we're looking at the odds on that, minus 170 for the over. So odds makers like that too. Now, I got to ask you this, just your rebuttal to this. There are a couple people on Twitter right now who are saying, well, I want to guarantee. They're guaranteeing stuff. You can never guarantee stuff, right? But they're saying Cory Sandhagen comes Saturday, he's going to style all over Song Yadong for 5 rounds. Give me a rebuttal to that. How do you feel about that?
Ooh, like we said before, there is no guarantee in the world. All it takes is one big right hand from Song Yadong. The
Yeah.
next thing you know, your legs are shaking. You're seeing stars. Will that happen to Cory Sandhagen? Let's say it does. He just goes for the choke out.
Yeah.
Round 3 comes, taps you out. Sure, he still won. Our guy still won, but he didn't style on him for 5 rounds. Nothing's a guarantee, especially a 5 round. You're talking 25 minutes, you're guaranteeing something. Bullshit. No way.
And this is an elite caliber, but I can't even talk high enough against Song Yadong. I know he's number 10, but I'm telling you, people are saying, is he ready? I think he'll be ready to show up. Ready against Cory Sandhagen, that's another story, but I think he'll be ready to show up. So that's your pick. That is your main event, folks. This is this is a fight fan's dream right here. I got to point that out for you. So that's your main event. Take it to the bank. Cash that thing, man.